just made peace with the sand people.
Not that is much of a worry. Translation. Translation. He says that he will not, Master. There is one storyteller in each clan, and only he may recite the histories. Translation. Translation. He says that you don't understand. They must never be told to someone who might say them incorrectly out of ignorance. Translation. To speak them in error is a blasphemy punishable by death. Only their greatest warriors are even permitted to listen to the tales. Translation. Translation. He doesn't know, Master. His people usually kill outsiders. Since you are an outsider yourself, that would not suffice. Translation. The greatest challenge for a warrior is to face a great dragon, the largest predator on Tatooine. Fight one of those, then bring back a dragon pearl. Discussed. I think he's making fun of you, Master. He doesn't believe an outsider could do such a thing. Translation. Translation. He says there is a dragon in the Eastern Dune Sea that you could sacrifice yourself to. You already have a map to the area. Translation. There is a hunter, a Twi'lek, that is sometimes seen out there. Perhaps he would be of some help. Translation. Translation. Stones polished in the gullet of the beast. Apparently they are valuable items. Translation. 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 His people believe they are part of the land, living with it. You and your kind dare to raise yourself above it. You remove. Translation. That act of removal makes you an outsider, separate from all that is important. You could never understand how unwelcome you are. Translation. Translation. He says that outsiders use machines to convey them and to make their lives easier. This severs a connection with the land. Translation. Connection to the soil must be made through flesh. A sacred animal is the only external tool to be used. Translation. Translation. He says that the use of these blasphemous things will only be tolerated because outsider interference has forced it upon them. Translation. If your kind had not come here, he would not have to defend their ways or their land. Translation. Translation. He says that the robes are sacred, Master, and you would not understand. Sand people are never uncovered outside of the most private moments. Translation. Translation. Never. That is their way, Master. Protocol. Is that wise, Master? They may have assumed that the disguises you used were replicas instead of being taken off their dead. Translation. Translation.
Let's see what happened.
Query. Protocol. Translation. Translate. Protocol. Translation. Translation. The result is predictable. You have desecrated their dead. Happily, it seems the peace is over. It is time to kill.
Oh wow. Really?
required.
Yes.
Master?
Sure.
Well, okay.
Whoever steps on this will get a nasty shock.
Hey, sure.
The Force fights with me.
Man,
There are more enemies outside.
Let's make this quick.
Ready.
What can I do? What can I do?
Sure.
Well, that was fun while it lasted. Yeah, I'm just gonna reload it. Go get the start now, fam. I love the plan. Alright. Alright.
I'm tired of waiting, Comad. How big can this dragon of yours be? I'm going in.
I'm thinking like the dragon must have like some kind of sound it emits off in order to paralyze the prey to kill it very easy. That's what I'm assuming. I'm gonna save, but I'm gonna show what happens when you don't go through with the plan. This is when you go straight in here, try to fight the dragon. You ain't gonna win. This is what happens. See? But I could have taken no, but maybe I'll do one version where I'm just doing dark side stuff. You ready for it? Like, Try to take me out. Light work.
I'm here. There you go. Alright, we did it. And the star map.
Statement. I believe there can be little doubt that we have found the star map you were seeking. I am surprised it is still working after all this time.
I do not think it is mere chance that we have found the star map here, in the lair of a Krayt dragon. The star map is an artifact of the dark side. The Krayt dragon may have been drawn here by its dark power, only to be enslaved by it. Come, we should leave this place. There's nothing else for us here.
Alright.
Sure.
Yes?
Sure.
Alright. Here we go. Let's go. And here we go. Look who's back.
I have to give you credit. You've led me on quite a chase, but nobody gets away from Calo Nord in the end. You got lucky on Terrace. The Sith attack saved you from a quick and gruesome death. But I promise you, the Sith won't be getting in my way this time. Let's go, boys. It's showtime.
Let's see.
Combat mode.
The Force fights with me!
Sure. Sure.
Well, nothing to do now but to loot the bodies. Yeah. Well, that just went the hard way. You don't miss a zero. Of course, bastard either.
Master? Acknowledge.
Well, here's a story.
Query. What protocol? This will be a translation. Translation. You have been told that to be considered worthy of hearing the history. Translation. He says the discussion is closed until... Translation. Translation. He is stupefied, Master. He never thought you could return with such an item. Such a thing has not been done in many years. Translation. He will allow you to meet the storyteller, but also gives a warning. If you dare to repeat the histories incorrectly, you will be killed. Translation. The storyteller will be summoned to one of the rooms here in the Enclave. He seems to think this is a great honor for you, Master. Translation. 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 There is only one accepted history, passed orally to each successive generation. Translation. A book or datapad can be taken away, cheapening the value of what it contains. To commit it to paper or storage is to remove it from the people. Translation. Translation. He says that you dare not question the accuracy of his information. The stories are learned perfectly by each successive storyteller. Translation. In fact, they aren't allowed to speak the stories aloud unless they are exact. Any error is considered a blasphemy, punishable by death. Criticism. It seems inefficient to me, Master. A score of apprentice storytellers would be slaughtered each generation. What if the elder died before completing the teachings? Translation. 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 It begins with the ancient times. Translation. Though the land was beautiful, they lived apart from the land. They built their walls high and saw beyond the horizon. They dared to reach the stars. Translation. There are no words for how long ago this was. It was before the outsiders, before the abduction, before the cities fell, before the builders. Translation. Translation. His arrogant people touched the stars, and this sin drew the attention of the builders. The builders did not touch the stars, they lashed them to millstones. Translation. Great demons of metal stripped the world of its riches until all that was left was the green of the ground. The great cities were lifted away. Translation. Those that had used the wealth were taken along with it. Transgressors abducted to serve past the sky, seeding the stars with penitent, adaptable slaves. Translation. Translation. There came a time when the builders were also judged for their crimes. After generations, a plague weakened them, and the time of the Great War began. Translation. The builders faltered, and his people realized why they had been punished, so that they understood the crime, and would now strike down the greater offender. Translation. They worked chaos in the machines, so they destroyed themselves. The builders fought back, laying waste to the green that had been misused with fire from above. Translation. Soil became glass, grinding to sand, but the fight was long planned, and his people were safe. Deep in cave homes carved from valley wall, they were free. Translation. Editing, if I may, Master. This section of his tale, rather than strain my circuits on his dialect, might we just assume there was much fighting over who has the biggest... Resignation. Very well, Master, very well. Translation. The tribes spread far, distant from each other, but all the sand people and all cherished the land that remained. The sand would not be misused. Translation. Then machines fell from the stars again, outsiders like you that brazenly walked apart from the land. And greater still was the insult to come. Translation. These outsiders reminded them of their past transgression, of the time when they too walked apart from land. The outsiders, your kind, looked like their ancient abducted. Translation. So it is to the current sons that the Sand People hate all outsiders and give them no footing. You come again, time after time, adaptable slaves to the machine. Editing. The last 1,000 years are full of conflicts with different groups of attempted planetary settlers, all of whom are poorly described, long dead, and likely untraceable. I believe I have truncated it down to the usable bits in what was already... Translation.
See if he shoots him on the left and the left.
Query. What do you wish? Clarification. We must be more specific. Translation. Translation. He says that the captive Jawas are slaves and that they have lived past their usefulness. You may take them if you wish. Translation. Translation.
Oh, no.
I'm here.
Alright.
Ikukuno no ba mulira tikun. Donghit kun Takom jus dach miki grabar mogo. Kuyabi jus chikata na patoga ya fulki. Takom jus dach miki. Kuyabi jus tolpa da bongwan. Mucho shak pakat. Ronda di hoto achut.
How can I help? I do. I've been watching you, studying you closely to see what kind of progress you've made since your training at the hands of Master Zahar. You never give up, do you? I admit, I'm interested in you. I find you intriguing, compelling even, but it's not what you think. You have a great gift. You have an awesome command of the Force, and I tremble when I think of how you might misuse it. What? No, of course not. Not like that, anyway. In many ways, you are dangerous. You could be the savior of the galaxy, or you could bring untold destruction upon us all. I've seen how you've resisted many temptations and continue to walk the path of the light side. Very commendable. But I'm afraid you might stray from this path. You need to see what the dark side represents in its entirety. For it is what we battle. Only the wisdom of the Jedi Master can truly explain this. But I will do my best to make you understand. The dark side is not simply giving in to anger, a temptation, or to use the Force to destructive ends. These things only lead to the dark side. The dark side grows stronger and more insidious the closer you draw to it. It begs you to surrender to it, to release all its terrible power, and it becomes harder and harder to resist. And once you stop resisting, it's too late. It twists you up inside and turns you into a mockery of everything you once stood for. I am no less resistant to temptation than any other. I simply have the benefit of training that you do not. But even the training of the Jedi might not be enough to save us. We need only to look at the atrocities which have been committed by those under its sway to understand the terrible, corrupting evil of the dark side. Millions dead, and far more suffering. What sort of person would you have to become to perform such deeds gladly? One who serves the light does not strike down an innocent. We take arms against the dark side and the injustice that follows it only. It's so easy to think that we would never fall prey to such a horror, that we have unlimited control, vigilance, and foresight. If only that were true. The Sith have become powerful because there are many Jedi who've succumbed to the lure of the dark side and joined their cause. What greater weapon is there than to turn an enemy to your cause, to use their own knowledge against them? We are weakened while they are strengthened, so we must harden our hearts and do whatever is required to fight against the dark side, even when the battle becomes wearying. I don't know. The vision of our future is clouded by shadows cast from the dark side. But I sense something ominous lurking in those shadows. But words alone cannot save one from the dark side. Come, we should continue with the task at hand. When the time comes, I only hope we are all strong enough to do what we must.
Alright.
Greetings again from the off. I see that, but do you have the all-important cheat? Well, that is a very big headache that you've removed. I'm sure there are still sand people out there, but they'll be quieter now. I think I'll give you a bonus for this. You've more than lived up to your side of the bargain. Zerka Corporation thanks you. I think you'll find that the reward I've given is more... I'm sure.
Alright, let's go. Alright, it's time to go. Alright, let's go. Hoping you got fun. like we're going on Manon. Yeah, we'll go Manon. We'll go there till we lay down on when we feel like trying to fight.
Another vision. The Force is guiding us, helping us retrace the steps of Malak and his old master, leading us ever closer to the Star Forge. Strange that anyone would have built a star map here. The entire surface of Manon is covered by nothing but vast oceans. It is possible. The melting of polar caps or a cataclysmic earthquake could have buried the land beneath the waves eons ago. Records from that time are incomplete. The ocean floor is vast, and much of it is uncharted, even by the native Selkath. But how could Revan and Malak have found their way down? No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
All right.
What can I do?
Yes?
You Republic people are so pathetic, sitting around groveling at the table scraps the galactic senators deign to give you. It makes me sick.
The senators work for the good of the whole galaxy, not for individual gain.
Ha! Don't make me laugh, you gutless simp. It's the
Ooh,
destiny
he called him a simp.
fools like you to be ruled over by the strong, like we Sith.
I'm warning you. Don't push me or you'll get just what you're asking for.
Try it. Just try it. I'd love to see you throw the first punch. And with all the cameras around, the Selkath would be all over you inside of 30 seconds. You break their laws. You pay the price, Republic scum. But I can see that you're not man enough to back up your words anyway. If you ever feel like relieving yourself of your worthless existence, feel free to come by our enclave here. We have many, many ways to fulfill your wish.
Yeah, what are you... Oh, I apologize. No, really. I should apologize. I should try to control myself. As you jet... Is there anything I can help? Well, these damn Sith are everywhere on Manan, pushing us Republic citizens around, trying to goad us into breaking the law somewhere. Yeah, the Selkath want to maintain their neutrality in this war we're fighting with the Sith, and they enforce it very strictly. So, we just have to sit here and let the Sith insult us, and we can't raise a hand against them. Otherwise, the Republic will face severe Kolto export restrictions, and that could lose us the war altogether. I'm sorry, but everyone knows what Kolto is. It's the most powerful healing agent in the galaxy. I would have died several times myself if we didn't have this stuff handy. But the reason it's important here is that Kolto is only found naturally on Manan, and all of our attempts to synthesize it have failed miserably. So, we sit here on the surface, the Selkath harvesting what Kolto bubbles up from the bottom of the ocean, and we buy it from them. Well, us and the Sith, of course. The Selkath don't want to play favorites. The Selkath think that by staying neutral, they can play both sides, selling Kolto to everyone that needs it, and making themselves too valuable to be worth conquering. Well, that, and they threaten to destroy the only natural source of Kolto on the planet if anyone tries to attack them. But I think they're underestimating the length the Sith will go to get what they want. They're probably planning something already. Is there anything else you require? Star? No. Is there anything else I can... It's big. Real big. Actually, it's pretty much the only real city on the entire world. The only place for us air breathers, anyway. Manan is a water world, which you may have noticed on your way down to land here, inhabited natively by a species of fish people called the Selkath. They built this city to cater to us off-worlders, and as a base of operations to export Kolto, which is the only real thing they have to trade here. The Selkath think that by staying neutral, they can play both sides, selling Kolto to everyone that needs it, and making themselves too valuable to be worth conquering. Well, that, and they threaten to destroy the only natural source of Kolto on the planet if anyone tries to attack them. But I think they're underestimating the length the Sith will go to get what they want. They're probably planning something already. Is there anything else you... Of course. If you don't know where that is, go north from here, then have a pleasant stay, man.
How can I help? Why? I could not accomplish this on my own. I need the aid of others, especially one who is strong in the Force. Besides, the events on Taris prove that the Force wanted to bring us together for this. I said we were brought together for our mission, to stop Malak. I hardly think the Force would be pushing us toward a romantic involvement when the fate of the galaxy is at stake. Please try to stay focused. Mutual attraction. I never said... It's just an expression. Whatever our feelings are... whatever your feelings, you have to try to ignore them. Don't let this complicate things. Finding the missing pieces of the star maps is our only hope of locating the Star Forge and defeating Malak. The Council explained all this quite clearly. I admit, there were times that I wondered if this is more than just a mission to stop Malak. I wondered if the Council wanted to see how I would help and guide you on our quest. I wondered if they were testing me to see if I was ready. And then I realized how foolish such thoughts were. As the Council explained, sending a master in our the fate of the galaxy is at stake. The Council would not risk it merely to test me. They can't. You must learn to trust in the wisdom. Must you be so frustrating? I admit I had a I'm simply trying to help you and complete this mission. Fun? Fun? You are a very odd man. Do you know that? I simply don't know how to deal with you. All I want to do is help you, but you seem determined to drive me mad. I don't know if I should be outraged that you keep joking about serious matters, or if I should be grateful that you can always lighten the mood. Come on, come, let's move on. There's much to be done.
Oscar!
Alright, let's split up a Zach. Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize they would have met it anyway. Alright, one more time. I'm gonna beat this dude at least once. Maybe one more. Yeah, I ain't gonna beat that. Hey, one more and I'm done. I'm not about to keep playing. Well, let me see. And doesn't matter.
Yes?
Sure.
I don't have time to listen to your stories. I've got a full shipment of calls. Yes. I don't have time to listen to your stories. I've got a full shipment.
about to screen in a minute.
Precious Republic's days are numbered. Won't be long until Malik turns his armada loose on Coruscant itself.
Save your empty threats, Sith scum. Malik isn't stupid enough to attack the core worlds, now with the entire Republic fleet waiting for him.
You're a fool. When the Sith descend on Coruscant, our numbers will block out the sun itself. The galactic senators will collapse trembling in fear and beg for mercy at Malik's feet.
You underestimate the Republic's resolve. We'll die before we surrender Coruscant.
That can be arranged. Remember what happened to Taris. Malik could do the same to the core worlds.
He wouldn't dare.
Now it is you who underestimate our resolve.
How much for all this stuff, Tybark? Thanks, Tybark. Catch you next week.
Hey, KB. Oh, yeah. Alright, I gotta remove the party or to talk to Hulas.
Kakincha nawabakaon. Chiwi aita ka tong chicha. Tong chiwama aki iko tune. Potong chiwama. Iska dosoki kopa bono nakachi. Namora na kakincha nawabakaon. Ichage borang kurang. Nada chawa issue Nova Murira Dila Achua Penki Yun Patisa Tong Tiwama Aki Inko Tune Potong Tiwama Aki Inko Tune Tong Panokun Non Kiska Dosoki Kopa Pono Nakachi Labora na Wiki Snaktoma Tuyami Yusku Chitanai Uchua Penki Tong Tiwama Aki Inko Tune Potong Tiwama Aki Inko Kiska Dosoki Kopa Pono Nakachi Labora na Wiki Snaktoma Tuyami Tong Tiwama Aki Inko Tune Potong Tiwama Aki Inko Tune Chiwa Aita Kan Icha Na Yutornigo Chiwi Aita Ka Tong Chicha Agi Inko Tune Chunam Tong Tiwama Aki Inko Tune Potong Tiwama Aki Inko Chiwa Aita Kan Icha Na Yutornigo Tongi wama aki iko tune. Otongi wama ki aki. Iska dosoki. Kopa bono nakaki. Labora na wiki. Tongi wama aki iko tune. Otongi wama ki aki iko tune. Tongpa no kun. Nona. Iska dosoki. Kopa bono nakaki. Kiwaka aita kan kicha na tupornibo. Tun muri ras nimo koi wanga. Tong wama ji. Human atong ki wama aki iko tune. Otong wama ji aki iko tune. Tongpa. Iska dosoki. Kopa bono nakaki. Labora na wiki snack toma. Kuyami kusku kitana. Iska dosoki. Kopa bono nakaki. Labora na wiki snack toma. Tongi wama aki iko tune. Otongi wama ji aki iko tune. Tong iska dosoki. Kopa bono nakaki. Labora na wiki snack toma. Kuyami. Tongi wama aki iko tune. Otongi wama ji aki iko tune. Tongpa no kuchi ni aita ka tongi cha. Kiwaka aita kan kicha na tupornibo. Iska dosoki. Kopa bono nakaki. Labora na wiki. Tongi wama aki iko tune. Otongi wama ji aki iko tune. Iska dosoki. Kopa bono nakaki. Labora na wiki ni aita ka tongi cha. Agi iko tune. Iska dosoki. Kopa bono nakaki. Labora na wiki. Tongi wama aki iko tune. Otongi wama ji aki iko tune. Iska dosoki. Kopa bono nakaki. Labora na wiki snack. Tongi wama aki iko tune. Iska dosoki. Kopa bono nakaki. Labora na wiki snack toma. Tuya tongi wama aki iko tune. Iska dosoki. Kopa bono nakaki. Labora na wiki snack toma. Tuya tongi wama aki iko tune. Iska dosoki. Kopa bono nakaki. Labora na wiki snack tongi wama aki iko tune. Iska dosoki. Kopa bono nakaki. Labora na wiki snack toma. Tongi wama aki iko tune. Otongi wama ji aki iko.
Alright. Alright, well, shout out to Shar and KB211. I'm going to end this stream and I'm going to start another one really soon.